Fetish for Real Estate Talk, and I'm here today with Loanza Harris, who is one of my favorite client ever. And I have to say, I really miss you. There was time that I've been seeing you every single weekend. Now you bought your apartment and I didn't see you anymore.
I know, I feel the same way. We became like best friends.
Right?
It was fun.
So how is your apartment? You like it?
I love it. I love my apartment. It's everything I could ever imagine.
Okay, I'm glad you love it, but tell me more about the experience that you have buying the place.
Oh my God. Buying in New York City is not for the faint of heart. I mean, that is very clear. And the experience was something that tested my patience and my will, my wit, and it was frustrating at times. You know,
how long it took?
I've been looking, I would say like 4 months before you came along.
You put some offers.
I put some offers,
drama.
and there was some drama, and there was one that was accepted, and then that fell through, you know, because the appraisal came back much lower. Than
were you
what
expecting that at all?
No.
Like, were you aware your broker, your attorney, anybody mentioned that something like that can happen at all?
No. So, you know, it was really, unfortunately, just not the due diligence from my real estate broker.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yes. And I was not happy because, you know, that person did not do the market analysis like they should have. And it was horrible, but you know what? Everything worked out for the best, because even though I wanted to live in Brooklyn, I wanted a backyard.
But also your goal completely changed. Yeah, you wanted a house, you want to live in Brooklyn, and you end up in co-op apartment.
I ended up in a co-op apartment, and I remember saying, I don't ever want to be in a co-op.
Yeah, I've heard this many times.
And you said that to me at the very beginning, you know, to keep my options open, but I was so determined, and we were not looking at co-ops, you know, initially.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I could not find the townhouse or, you know, brownstone I was looking for in Brooklyn, where you were like, would you consider living in Manhattan? I'm like, I live in Manhattan. You know, I live in Manhattan, and it was a no-brainer, but I just didn't think that that's where I would be. I mean, I really wanted to be in Brooklyn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and what was like, I've heard you so many times saying that you are giving up. You will be living in a rented apartment for the rest of your life. You don't want to buy it anymore. If you have to go through this one more time, would you do it?
You know what's so funny? You never say never. And I remember when we were finally settling on a couple of apartments, and I said I will never do this again. And you said, this will not be your first apartment, you know, your only apartment. This is just your first, and you'll buy many more. And I'm like, no, I'm done. And I just had a conversation with you that, you know, I may consider buying another place, but I would keep this place.
So if anything, you know who to call.
I know who to call, of course. You're my number one, my only.
Thank you.
But I would keep this place and rent it out. It's a beautiful apartment. It has great architectural detail and a great neighborhood. So I'm very happy, and it worked out because I'm very close to work.
Okay.
Which is where I was anyway. So I'm close to work. It's convenient for me in terms of what I have to do with my son. So Brooklyn would have been an hour and 15-minute commute, versus now it's like a 10, maybe at the most 20-minute commute.
But do you think in the process of buying, was it something that was totally unexpected, that you didn't know that, of course you didn't know that it will take that long?
No, I didn't.
Any other surprises that you would think will be easier, will be more difficult, it's not what you expected at all?
Yeah, the main thing is I didn't think it would take that long, because, you know, it's like I walked in with everything, you know. Already had the pre-approval. I had my mortgage
attorney, everything.
I had everything. I was ready to go, and it was just a matter of finding the place. But the market here, that's why I said it's not for the faint of heart. It's a very tight market. I was competing with people who had cash, or you go to these places.
I also have to say you were an unbelievably loyal client. I remember we went to those apartments that were sold by owners, or that the brokers didn't want to co-broke with me, and we were just, no.
Oh yes, I remember that one. And I was not willing to do something that would compromise any of the work that you were done, and it was going to undersell
that.
Oh yeah, I mean, can't undersell you. You're professional like the rest of us. And so anyway, that was shocking to me that you could have everything to buy, but it's hard and difficult to buy. And then you'll see that,
especially that you were a really well qualified client. You had everything,
right?
And still, it took so long.
And that was the frustrating part. I was like, if I was somewhere else, I would have had a place by the end of the day
for half a price.
Well,
also,
I don't even want to think about that.
Okay, do you think is it somewhere here?
It's on the side.
Okay, I drop you right here, and I will see you on a housewarming party.
Yes,
awesome.
I look forward to you.
A lot of single men, right?
Well, one of them.
I do. Okay.
Remember, you went to look for Ricky.
Yes, he was with us a couple of times.
Yes,
Great.
Yes.
Okay, I will cross the street, and then I can drop you right there.
Well, I really appreciate the ride. We have to
I like it as well. We have to do it more often.
We have to do it.
You have to buy more apartments. That's it.
One day I will.
Absolutely.
Buy more.
You know my number.
I do. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Have a great evening.
You too.
All right, see you tomorrow.
See ya.